Hey up guys! So today on the channel I'm going to be taking part in this challenge that has been going around on YouTube. You might have seen it on other film vlogger YouTube channels. It's where you have to list 10 of your favorite films from 10 different genres, and then you have to tag 7 other film vloggers to do the same. I was challenged by a wonderful YouTuber called Sean Jackson. He has this amazing YouTube channel called Lost in the Reel. If you guys like my content, you need to check out Sean's channel, Lost in the Reel. There's a link down below. Follow it, subscribe to him, watch his content, give him some love. He is absolutely amazing. I've only known him for like a year, but I just really fell in love with both him and his channel. He's very insightful, he's got great energy, and he's just an all-round lovely human being. So please do give his channel some love. The 7 film vloggers which I've tagged are also in the video description down below. Please do check out their channels, subscribe, comment. They're all doing absolutely wonderful work. If I haven't tagged you, please don't be offended. I could only pick 7 apparently, and I follow a lot of film vloggers. Honestly, I could have listed about 50 channels for me to recommend. But if you are a film channel and I haven't tagged you, please do leave in the comment section down below a link to your channel. That way I can check you out and help you, and you can help support everyone else that's in the comment section below. Let's help grow that little community by liking, watching each other's content, subscribing, commenting. Yeah, let's grow that community. Quick disclaimer though, guys, you're only supposed to do 10 genres in this list. However, I've decided to bend the rules a little bit and include 3 genres which I think deserve recognition that haven't been on other people's lists. They're 3 genres that I love as well. They're the bottom 3: thriller, musicals, and fantasy. I found it very weird that they weren't included on this challenge, and if I'm gonna talk about my favorite movies, I'm gonna need to talk about these 3 particular genres. So yeah, if you do end up doing the challenge, you don't have to do 13 like I'm doing. You can just do the original top 10, but I'm bending the rules because they're 3 genres that I love, and it's my video. And of course, if I have tagged you, there is no obligation to do the challenge if you don't want to. It's purely optional, it's just for fun. But anyway, the 7 channels which I've tagged to do this challenge are Luke's Reviews, Aaron at the Movies, Max Joseph, Film Person, Ren Geekness, Mainly Movies, Stu Talks, and Zach Goller. They all do fantastic stuff. Check out the channels, give them some love, and yeah, if they decide to do this challenge, that's magnificent. Again, all the information is in that video description down below. Okay, so the first genre is one of my favorites. It is science fiction. So many movies here that I could have picked: Terminator 1 and 2, Inception, The Martian, even Deep Blue Sea I consider a science fiction film. But the film that I landed on was Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity. I absolutely love this film. I saw it 3 times in the cinema, and that's because of the unique experience that I got from watching it. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes you go see a movie and you experience something that you've never experienced before. And with Gravity, I felt that feeling of weightlessness, like I was floating around in space with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. And when a director can trick you into feeling like they've transported you into a different environment, like the vacuum of space, that is a marvelous accomplishment. It just shows you the magic of cinema, and I freaking love Gravity, yeah. So yeah, Gravity gets my #1 spot for sci-fi. All right, so next up we have animation. Oh, good gravy. This is gonna be tough because watching Disney films as a child is some of my earliest memories. It might actually be what started my obsession with the medium of film. But even though I loved animation as a child, I still love animation as an adult because a lot of it really does speak to me. Just like Inside Out and Soul, they very much resonate with me as an adult. But the film, which I would say I clicked with the most and have the most emotional resonance to, and is my favorite, is Lee Unkrich's Toy Story 3. I love all the Toy Story movies. I think it's fantastic. Frankly, flawless franchise. That's just me though. But Toy Story 3, I have such an emotional attachment to personally because Andy, the protagonist of the Toy Story 1, 2, 3, goes off to college at the end of the movie, and I was the exact same age as Andy when I was going off to college. So it's like that movie is a part of my own personal history and my own blossoming experience into adolescence, that bit where I said goodbye to my own childhood. It very much was that for me, and like that movie is like personally linked to that specific moment in my own life, which is why, yeah, it holds such a special place in my heart. Okay, so next up we have drama. Ooh, anybody that knows me knows that I love a bit of drama. It just follows me wherever I go. Favorite drama? Ooh, I have so many. Whiplash, The Social Network, Birdman, The Favorite, 3 Billboards. Ooh, but if I had to pick just one that I just love watching over and over again, it's Xavier Dolan's Mommy. That is a beautiful slice of melodrama, and I don't know what it is about this film, but I just find it so powerful. I feel like it's like tapping into a vein of family melodrama, but it's done so well and so effectively. The music in it is fantastic. The performances are stunning. The direction is clever and claustrophobic and just very, very smart. It's got some really powerful goose pimply moments in that movie. If you haven't seen Xavier Dolan's Mommy, good lord, give it a watch. It is phenomenal. All right, so next up we have romance. Now this isn't a genre which I know a whole lot about, but there are some romantic films which I absolutely adore, like Her, If Beale Street Could Talk, The Shape of Water, Moulin Rouge, La La Land, Titanic, but my favorite, the one that just turns me into a big old pile of goo every time I watch it, is Luca Guadagnino's Call Me By Your Name. Yes, of course, I went for the quintessential gay romance film, but I can't help it. I freaking love this movie. It just makes me feel all the feels watching it, and it perfectly encapsulates that feeling of summer romance, but it's got this lovely lazy pace, but it also feels quite intense and just hormones and love and just first love. Oh, I just love it. The performances from Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer, who, you know, we won't say too much about right now because of all the allegations, but still, them together, oh, the sparkage. The ending is bittersweet. Oh, it just breaks my heart every time, but oh, I freaking love Call Me By Your Name. I'm just a big old gay cliche. All right, so next up we have action movies. Yes, you won't want to take me in a fight. But favorite action movies, ones that come to mind, I'd say Die Hard, Mad Max Fury Road, any James Bond movie. The one that comes to mind quickest would be Skyfall or Goldfinger. I love the Terminator movies as well, or Fight Club. Oh, but if I had to pick just one, I think it would have to be the Wachowski siblings' The Matrix. That film was so freaking groundbreaking, revolutionary. It still holds up really well to this day. And just, it's a film which, it's inspired so many other films. It's slick, it's cool, it's profound, it has something to say. Oh yeah, The Matrix just, I never get bored of revisiting it. It always feels refreshing whenever you go back to watch it. It just never stops being awesome. I can't say the same about the sequels, but oh my god, yeah, the first Matrix movie. Okay, so next up we have comedy. What makes me giggle? Well, I love Bridesmaids, Booksmart, Spy, A Fish Called Wanda, Some Like It Hot, Mean Girls, Pulp Fiction, The Devil Wears Prada, even Bowfinger. Not enough people have seen that film. It is fantastic. But yeah, the film that I'm gonna have to go with for best comedy is, gonna take on a little journey. Yep, Rat Race. I don't care what people say. I freaking love this movie. I know not a lot of people love it. I know it's not got like a huge fan following or anything, but I don't know. There's something about Jerry Zucker's Rat Race which I just find endlessly rewatchable. I love the cast. I love Rowan Atkinson, Whoopi Goldberg, and Seth Green. They're 3 of my favorite actors of all time. You got John Cleese in there, John Lovitz as well, and like Kathy Najimy's in it, and Kathy Bates. It's got such a rich roster of fantastic comedic actors in it. And it's just fun and zany and goofy and silly. And yeah, I don't know. I just love Rat Race. So sue me. All right, I'm gonna take you back now, back around to where we were, all right? Okay, so next category is adventure. Now, I know a lot of people have gone with like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, because that's very adventure-y. It's kind of the quintessential adventure film. But I decided to go with a different film, one which I wasn't quite sure where to place on this list because it's kind of a sci-fi, it's kind of an action movie, and there's adventure in it as well. It is Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. Yep, I freaking love Jurassic Park. I wanted to honor it somewhere in this list because it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it more times than I dare to admit. It just never stops being an amazing watch. I just love it. I love the characters, I love the setting, I love how it's aged. It holds up remarkably well. To say this film is like a quarter of a century old. It is an amazing film. Never stops being a blast, this movie. And yeah, that's where I get my pick for adventure. All right, so next up we have comic book. Oh my God, there are so many amazing comic book superhero movies to choose from. Iron Man, Logan, Joker, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America Civil War, X-Men 2, Spider-Man 2, Avengers Assemble, Avengers Infinity War. Oh my God, the list just goes on and on and on. But there is one movie which sits above all of those. It's in a league of its own. It is just, it's the godfather of superhero movies. It's that good. I think you all know which one it is. It's probably everyone's choice for favorite superhero movie of all time. It is, of course, gonna take it another journey. It is, yep, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. I mean, come on, it had to be The Dark Knight, didn't it? I mean, not only is it like the best superhero movie ever made, in my humble opinion, but it's also one of the best movies, period. Like, it is just a masterpiece. It's a superior sequel to Batman Begins. It's Goodfellas, but with superheroes. Like, it mixes the fun spectacle of superhero movies with the gritty crime drama of like Martin Scorsese movies. It's a smart, accessible, amazing film. Like, there's so much about it that I love. The truck flip, the hospital explosion, the wanna see a magic trick scene. It's endlessly quotable with the Joker. Why so serious? The soundtrack is phenomenal by Hans Zimmer. The direction is sublime. And of course, I can't forget the world-class performance from Heath Ledger as the Joker, which won him a posthumous Oscar, probably the performance of the century. Yep, they don't get much better than The Dark Knight. I'm waiting for the day that something comes along and tops it, but I don't know if it's gonna happen in my lifetime. So next up we have horror. What scary movies does Lukey love? Well, I love Get Out, Scream, The Cabin in the Woods, The Fly, that's a goodie. But my favorite, I'm gonna go with an oldie, but a goodie. It still to this day gives me thrills and chills and the heebie-jeebies. It is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It is some top-notch quality filmmaking. It is suspenseful and atmospheric. The iconography of the movie has remained in the zeitgeist to this day. It's still referenced, this film, it's influential. The characters from this movie have become sort of household names in themselves, with Norman Bates. It's got one of the most iconic scenes in the history of cinema with the shower scene and the music. And yet, it's just an incredible piece of filmmaking. I love Psycho. It never stops being rewatchable. It really is a timeless piece of cinema. Okay, so next up we have probably my least favorite of all these genres. That is Western. I'm not a big Western watcher. I think I can count the amount of Westerns I've seen on 2 hands, and I won't even need all the fingers on the second hand. But the ones that I remember liking were Hell or High Water, True Grit, and No Country for Old Men. But favorite Western, I'm gonna have to go with Django Unchained by Quentin Tarantino. It's just a flippin' fantastic, wildly entertaining spaghetti Western ride. It's got adventure, action, romance, dark comedy, and it's supremely satisfying. The finale is so good. It's really quotable as well. Gentlemen, you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Yeah, it's just a really joyful movie. I love Django Unchained. It's up there in my top 3 Tarantino movies, and it is probably my favorite Western, period. Okay, so now we're moving into the 3 genres which I wanted to pick a movie from because they're not on other people's top 10s. Now we're going into the 11th, 12th, and 13th genres. The first one I put is musicals. I love a musical. Surprise! Yes, I'm that gay. I love a musical. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Moulin Rouge, La La Land, The Greatest Showman, Mary Poppins, Oliver, Grease, they're all such a good time. But my favorite musical, I'm gonna have to go to a Disney movie, and it's probably not the most obvious pick, but it is Enchanted. I freaking love Enchanted. It's subversive and silly and fun. It's like everything you know from a Disney movie, but sort of flipped on its head. So it's actually quite a smart satire of fairy tale and Disney movies, period. And yeah, I just think it's a fantastic movie. The songs in it are all strong. There's only like 4 songs in it, but I love all the songs. I can sing them backwards and forwards. Got my little friends as we all sing a happy little working song. Merry creatures that are fierce and strong. Yep, I love this movie, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's a rainy day movie, a pick-me-up movie, a feel-good movie. It's a fantastic movie, period. I love Enchanted. So there you go. Okay, so next up we have fantasy. I love to get lost in a fantasy series, whether it's Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, anything by Guillermo del Toro, like The Shape of Water, but I have picked one of his movies, and it's probably the one you all think it's gonna be. It's, of course, Pan's Labyrinth. Who doesn't love Pan's Labyrinth? It's beautiful and scary. It's just a film you can get lost in. It's so rich and texturized. It's a world that's fully thought out and realized. I love watching Pan's Labyrinth. It's just a miraculous piece of cinema. It boggles my mind it didn't win Best Film Not in the English Language at the Oscars that year. It is just a stunning piece of cinema. We're so lucky to have it. I think I watch it at least once a year. It's an amazing film. And last but not least, we have the category which I was most shocked wasn't included in the original 10 for this challenge, and that's thriller. Because thrillers, they're like some of my favorite movies. Silence of the Lambs, Drive, Black Swan, Nightcrawler, Memento, Gone Girl. There's so many great thrillers. There's no shortage of amazing thrillers out there. But for my pick for thriller, I have gone with a very recent film, but a film that's arguably one of the best films of all time. It is, of course, Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Yeah, I'm that basic, I'm that cliche. I probably mention Parasite in every top 10 video that I do, because it really is just one of the best films ever made. I don't know what else there's to say about it. I've said everything I could possibly say about how much I love this film. I think it's a phenomenal film. Just 5 stars, top marks, the dog's bollocks. Yeah, so yeah, that's why Parasite gets my pick for best thriller. And there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for the best of each genre challenge. I challenge you guys to do the same. Please do put your thoughts on my picks in the comment section down below. Let me know yours as well. If you agree with me, if you disagree, etc. Make sure to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, all in that video description down below. Check out everyone else's channels that I mentioned. They're in the video description as well. Give their channels some love. And yes, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to click subscribe, and if you guys are a film channel yourself, please do leave a link in the comment section down below so I can check out your channel and give you guys some love as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.